So look, a couple of competing narratives here, Kara. One, that there is regulation, this according to the chair of the SEC, former chair of the SEC, but that companies aren't listening, aren't coming forward. What do you think?
Well, at Coinbase, we actually have really founded ourselves and pride ourselves on being compliant, on being the trusted, most secure. And so we are regulated by more than 42 state licenses. We have a BIT license. We have a trust charter. So we actually view ourselves as very well regulated. We are regulated at the federal level by CFTC, by the SEC. We have a dormant broker-dealer license, 2 of them actually. We're regulated by FinCEN. So we actually think that there is a regulatory framework in place that is pretty effective. But we think really what we need to do is make sure that we modernize those rules and bring them into a space that can really and truly understand the technological capabilities of blockchain and digital assets and actually help consumers achieve and understand those benefits.
So if those rules were modernized, do you think that the spectacular crash we've just seen could have been avoided? The collapse of, a major crypto hedge fund, a major crypto lender could have been avoided?
I think it's difficult to predict what may have happened, but I do think that there certainly, if we had clear rules of the road for all different companies engaged in the crypto ecosystem, we certainly would have more clarity, whether it comes to disclosures or certain requirements on how you may address different business risks or different needs. What we saw through the recent volatility is that the issue was really a credit problem, not a crypto problem. And so what we're hoping for, again, is these consistent rules that will help consumers understand what they're getting into when they have crypto, and that you have businesses and innovators and new projects that can come to the table, and instead of hiring a team of lawyers to comply with what can be considered some vague rules, instead they can go out and innovate and create the next big thing for consumers.
There's a crypto bill being pushed by Senators Lummis and Gillibrand. I actually recently spoke with both of them about the bill and why they think this could be the answer. Take a listen to this from Senator Lummis.
The bill in one piece as a total bill is more likely to be deferred until next year. It's a big topic. It's comprehensive, and it's still new to many U.S. senators.
Do you like this legislation, and do you think it'll pass?
I'm so glad you raised this legislation for 2 reasons. One, I'm from the great state of Wyoming, so I hold all the work that Senator Lummis is doing very near and dear to my heart, and so does my grandmother, who turns 102 and still lives there. She very much believes in it. So I really appreciate Senator Lummis's work for the Cowboy State. Second, this bill is by far and away the most comprehensive, detailed, really the intellectual rigor that was put into building it is really impressive, and I think it will create very much a foundation for future legislation. And I think she's right that at the end of the day, legislation can take a very long time to get across the finish line, and this is very complex. Her bill includes CFTC jurisdiction, SEC jurisdiction, tax reform. It includes sections on stablecoins. It's very complex, and putting this puzzle together will take time, a lot of different committees, leadership. It will take the administration. So once we get all these pieces together, I do think we're set up for success in the coming year.
Coinbase is very much aspiring to be a global company, and crypto is, certainly a global market. Are other companies, other governments doing this better than the U.S., or are they ahead of the U.S. on regulation?
Some of the countries actually are, I think, ahead of where the U.S. is, and part of that is by nature of the fact that they may be set up with a single regulator. For example, in the U.K. or in this instance of EU, they're actually putting forward a very comprehensive approach to digital assets. We're seeing additional work in India, in Singapore, in Japan, and Australia. So there are a lot of different countries that are coming to the table and working with stakeholders and industry participants and consumers to understand what the impact of digital assets are. I think that's where we need to get in terms of the United States, is really creating a rulemaking process and going through a regulatory process that's transparent, that is engaging stakeholders, that's thinking about both retail and institution, and really how we can move forward in a way that's really includes all of the different viewpoints. That's what we're missing in the United States right now.
So just about 30 seconds left, Kara. We've got U.S. midterms coming up. Could that be a pivotal moment?
100%, in the sense that we have more crypto advocates, more crypto allies, more members of the House and Senate who are understanding what is going on in the crypto space. It's also, it's really happening at the state and local level as well. And that's where, again, we are regulated at the state level and really have some wonderful regulators across the United States, others who are catching up. But at the end of the day, we really have to make sure that those who are being elected to office understand that this is the future. It's the future of finance. It's the future of the economy. And the more we can help educate those policymakers as they come into office, I think we'll all be better off.